The sunlight streaming through the tall windows of the private hospital room was too bright. Ethan stood just outside the door, his hand hovering near the handle, when the sharp voice from within made him freeze. No way. I'm straight. The idea that I would be dating a guy is literally insane. The door was ajar. Ethan pushed it open. Inside, Leo was propped up on the bed, his expression a storm of confusion and anger. A bandage was wrapped around his head. His friend Mark stood nearby, looking helpless. Upon seeing Ethan, Leo's tirade stopped dead. His eyes, dark and furious a second before, went wide. A flush crept up his neck, staining his cheeks. He stared, his mouth slightly agape. Are you my boyfriend? Ethan felt the familiar pang, the one that always came with looking at Leo. But he kept his expression neutral, his voice calm. No, I'm not. He told Leo they were roommates, that he owned the condo and Leo rented a room, helping with chores to offset the cost. Leo, his memories apparently reset to his freshman year of college, accepted this with a strange, hopeful nod. He kept sneaking glances at Ethan, a shy, unfamiliar heat in his gaze. Back at the penthouse overlooking the river, Leo marveled at the sleek, modern space. I can afford this? Ethan simply smiled. You help around the place. It works out. That evening, Ethan cooked pasta. He absent-mindedly used the same spoon to taste the sauce, offering it to Leo. Is it seasoned enough? It's perfect. Leo's voice was soft. His eyes followed the spoon as Ethan then used it himself, and Leo's entire face turned a profound scarlet. He looked utterly flustered, his gaze dropping to Ethan's lips before darting away. Later, Ethan walked into the bathroom to retrieve his laundry and found Leo stepping out of the shower, completely unclothed. Water droplets slid down the defined planes of his chest and stomach. Leo froze, a deer in headlights, his skin flushing from his chest to his hairline. Ethan, suppressing a well-known urge, calmly apologized and gathered the clothes, his eyes briefly sweeping over the scene before he left. He heard a muffled, frustrated groan from behind the closed door. The seed of a ridiculous idea had been planted in Leo's mind. It blossomed fully later that night when Leo came to borrow a lamp and spotted the undeniable evidence in the nightstand drawer. His eyes found the bottle of bourbon and 2 tumblers on the side table. Do you have a partner? Leo's voice was tight. Ethan, seated on the bed with a book, saw no point in lying about that. Yes, my boyfriend is traveling for work. Leo's jaw clenched. He took the lamp and left without another word. He returned 10 minutes later, bursting back into the room, his chest heaving. His earlier shyness was gone, replaced by a jumble of hurt and accusation. Just tell me the truth. I'm the other man, aren't I? I'm the one you're seeing while he's away. Ethan closed his book slowly, regarding him. Where did you get that idea? It makes sense. Leo's words tumbled out in a rush. This place, the way you looked at me, the shared spoon, you've seen me before. You're bored with me now, and you're using the amnesia to end it. Ethan said nothing, a silent observation. Leo took his silence as confirmation. His eyes grew bright with unshed tears, a mix of betrayal and desperation. He strode to the bourbon, took a long swig straight from the bottle, and pulled his shirt off over his head. If that's my role, then I'll play it. You don't get to discard me. He crossed the room, his kiss tasting of whiskey and anger. Ethan found himself responding, a habit as deep as breathing. Leo's hands were impatient, fumbling with buttons. Then, abruptly, the fury seemed to drain from him. He buried his face in Ethan's neck, his voice a shaky, embarrassed mumble against his skin. I don't actually remember how to do this. You have to show me. A surprised laugh escaped Ethan. He reached up, carting his fingers through Leo's damp hair. All right, I can do that. Afterward, Ethan lit a cigarette by the window. Leo curled against him. His earlier bravado softened into a contented haze. Was I good? Dump him. Be with me instead. Ethan exhaled a stream of smoke, watching it curl in the dim light. He traced Leo's jawline with his thumb. Can't do that. I love my boyfriend. You need to stay hidden. If he finds out, you and I are finished. Leo's arm tightened around him, a possessive, sulky gesture. Fine. But I'm the only one. No other distractions. The following days were a whirlwind of Leo's zealous campaign to prove his superiority to the absent boyfriend. He cooked elaborate meals, pointedly mentioned he didn't smoke, and made a show of his physique at every opportunity. He bought new books on self-improvement, studying them with intense focus. His energy was boundless, a constant, demanding presence. Seeking a reprieve, Ethan took him to a park downtown on the weekend. Mark joined them for a basketball game. Leo played with a competitive fervor, constantly looking to Ethan for approval. Ethan went to a nearby deli to get drinks. When he returned, a man was calling his name. Ethan. It's been a long time. David stood there, a grocery bag in hand, his smile as warm and polished as ever. He'd been a relationship from another life, a vice president at a rival firm. Their split had been amicable, inevitable, when he chose a transfer to London. Ethan had not chosen to follow. They exchanged brief pleasantries. David explained he'd left the company and returned to the city. His gaze was lingering, full of unspoken history. I have a boyfriend now, Ethan stated, a simple boundary. David's smile didn't falter, but it grew wistful. I imagined you might. Across the park, the basketball game had stopped. Leo was staring, his body tense. Mark was beside him, talking rapidly, looking between Leo and Ethan with alarm. David noticed. Is that him? He asked to come over for dinner, citing a broken stove and several lonely takeout meals. Just as friends. For old time's sake. Against his better judgment, Ethan agreed. Just this once. In the car, Leo immediately claimed the passenger seat. David, sliding into the back, remarked lightly that he was used to that spot. Leo retorted that some people had no choice due to motion sickness, his tone clipped. At the condo, David noted the changes, the vibrant abstract art on the walls, the collection of vinyl records by the player, the lived-in warmth that hadn't been there before. A quiet sadness touched his features. He offered to cook, a familiar ritual from their past. Ethan reluctantly agreed to assist. In the kitchen, David moved with practiced ease, falling into the old, comfortable patterns of their partnership. Ethan was setting out utensils when the bathroom door opened and closed behind him. He turned, and Leo was there, pushing him gently back against the counter. His kiss was feverish, charged with a potent mix of desire and simmering jealousy. He broke away, breathing heavily, his forehead resting against Ethan's. You want this, he murmured, his voice rough. I know you do. Otherwise, why pick me? He's back and you're already pulling away. I saw how he looked at you. Ethan didn't deny it. He simply looked back at him. Leo's eyes darkened. His hand slipped under Ethan's shirt, fingers brushing over a faint mark on his hip. If you don't want him to know, you'd better keep these hidden. He left as suddenly as he appeared. Ethan adjusted his shirt, a slow smile touching his lips. He returned to the kitchen, and David's welcoming smile faltered for a second at the sight of him, before smoothing into polite acceptance. During dinner, David spoke of his time abroad, of missing the city, of missing this. Leo, seated opposite Ethan, listened with a stony expression. His leg shifted under the table, his foot gently nudging Ethan's ankle. He pointedly served Ethan more food. David's anecdotes were met with polite silence from Ethan. His attention was divided, pulled by the magnetic, sulky presence across from him. When David made a comment about building a stable career early, Leo's grip tightened on his fork. People should do what makes them happy, Ethan interjected smoothly, echoing a phrase he'd heard Leo say 100 times. That's the only capital that matters. David fell quiet, understanding dawning in his eyes. After the meal, Ethan walked David to the elevator. Leo lingered in the hallway, pretending to examine a print on the wall, his surveillance painfully obvious. "You're different," David said softly, his glance taking in Leo's poorly concealed watchfulness. "Because of him." Ethan followed his gaze. "Yes." David's question was quiet, haunted by their past. "If it were him, would you choose differently? Would you ask him to stay, or would you go?" Ethan hesitated, the old, pragmatic answer sticking in his throat. Before he could speak, a warm hand slipped into his. Leo had come forward, his posture straight, his young face serious in the elevator's dim light. "Ethan's path is his own," Leo said, his voice clear and firm. "I would move my world to orbit his, not the other way around. He shouldn't have to choose. If someone cares, they just know." David looked at their joined hands, at the defiant, proud set of Leo's shoulders, and finally at Ethan's face. A slow, accepting smile spread across his features, tinged with regret. "I see. I was never that brave." He stepped into the elevator. "Take care of each other." When the doors closed, Leo turned, his earlier bravado melting into a radiant, disbelieving joy. "You picked me? You really picked me?" Ethan squeezed his hand. "It seems I did. Don't let it go to your head." Leo's laugh was a burst of pure happiness. He pulled Ethan into a fierce embrace, his heart pounding a rapid rhythm against Ethan's chest. He began steering them determinedly toward the bedroom. "What are you doing?" Ethan asked, though he already knew. "Celebrating my promotion," Leo declared, his eyes sparkling. From secret to official. 2 weeks later, Leo's memory returned in a sudden, jarring flood. He found Ethan reading in the living room, his face a spectacular shade of crimson. "You let me believe that. You let me think I was the other man." Ethan looked up, amusement dancing in his eyes. "I said we were roommates. You're the one who wrote the entire scandalous screenplay." Leo sputtered, the embarrassment warring with affection. I couldn't believe I could have you. So I assumed the worst possible scenario that still involved being near you. So you'd rather be my secret than not have me at all?" Leo groaned, covering his face with his hands before peeking through his fingers. "It sounds ridiculous when you say it." Ethan set his book aside. "Come here." Leo did, folding himself onto the couch beside him, his head finding its familiar place on Ethan's shoulder. "I was so scared you'd send me away. I was ready to fight the whole world for a spot in your life, even a hidden one." Ethan pressed a kiss to his temple. "Well, you don't have to fight anymore. The spot is yours. Officially." "No secrets?" Leo asked, his voice small. "No secrets," Ethan confirmed. "Just us." Leo let out a long, contented sigh, the last of the tension leaving his body. His fingers laced with Ethan's, a simple, solid connection. Outside, the city lights glittered like scattered stars against the night, reflecting on the dark surface of the river, a silent witness to the quiet, reclaimed truth of the room.